trying to discuss with the sideline what the options are.
Well, what you try to do as a coach, you want to get the information as quick as you can to try to decide what you want to do and get it out to your captain. And they're doing a pretty good job here. Officials come over to explain it to Lloyd Carr.
It obviously is the 5-yard variety, but with the 15, it would be we would have already taken that and the
5
first down.
yards, space mask, penalty from the previous spot, 5 yards, repeat second down.
So they will repeat second down, and it's going to be a second down and 12.
That's an interesting decision there because you back it up, and now you're second and 12, whereas probably could have been 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 6. So an interesting decision, trying to take the down to make use of the down. Let's see how it works.
You see Chris Hood, the sophomore out of Town Creek, lined up at that left defensive end spot. Williams in motion as Greasy sets in the pocket right over the middle. It is complete to Williams, and Fernando Bryant has him in his grasp at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down, Michigan. And that is the end of the first quarter. So let's take a timeout. Alabama 3, Michigan nothing. Here with 14:36 left until halftime. Do you have the ESPN News yet? Well, if you don't, you're missing the first 24-hour all-sports news network from your only source for the best news and information, ESPN. ESPN pools all its resources to give you not only scores and highlights, but in-depth, reliable coverage of breaking news. To get ESPN News, call your local cable operator or satellite provider and ask for ESPN News.
Now, Ron, Michigan's defense wants to keep Alabama down here. Not allow them out of this hole. Get their offense good field position.
Alexander, Curtis gets to the outside. 20, 25, and out to the 30-yard line. And Curtis Alexander, who was the starting tailback at the beginning of the year, suffered a wrist injury, had to have minor surgery, missed 4 games. He's back.
Well, this is a stretch play, a zone play where you just get your lineman into the Michigan defense, and then you just let the tailback, Sean Alexander, just find a hole and try to get into the secondary, and he did that.
Now Sean Alexander in, who had the great night against LSU. He gets the handoff, nothing to the left, so he'll cut it back up the middle, and he will have a couple of yards. Mike, let's go back and look at one play. Michigan wound up with no points following that 45-yard middle screen.
Every coach, whether it's midget league or junior high, high school, or the pros, they always tell the players, you go, you continue to go until the whistle blows. Ralph Staten didn't stop, and he was able to track down Clarence Williams, and that saved that scoring opportunity. You're going to see him come out of nowhere. Number 41, he didn't stop. He didn't buy a ticket, count his change in his pocket.
He saved a touchdown. Saved a touchdown for his football team. Ed Sissom, who is back, is in at fullback as Curtis Checkett, Sean Alexander straight ahead, and Glenn Steele, who has already had an outstanding first half, trips him up.
No, Ron, it looks like in Alabama's scheme of things, what they're trying to do passing-wise, again, they know it's going to be difficult to run. They're trying to get their backs involved in the passing game. And another weapon that they have is Patrick Haight, who I think is really a solid tight end that not a lot of people know about. Number 38, he has great hands when you watch him practice catching the football.
So the question for Alabama today is Gene Stallings would rather line up and take it straight at him, but I don't know if they can do that against Michigan. Pass too low. Almost intercepted. Calvin Hall is the man that he wanted. Woodrow Hankins was the man that it bounced up to.
Well, this is a classic defensive football game here early in the ball game, and coaches trying to find something to work and trying to get in this position to win the field position war, to make your offense only have to go 40 or 45 yards for a touchdown.
Good look at Woodson, who is back in single safety. Hayden Stockton, senior out of Oakman, Alabama, waits for the snap back at the 22. You just joined us, 3-0. Crimson Tide lead, second quarter. Great kick. Good coverage kick. Woodson all the way back to the 13-yard line. Got a great block. Tries to take it into the boundary, and he's down at the 30. That's a 52-yard kick, and he gets 17 on the return. We'll be right back.
When fix-it problems hit you from out of the blue, trust the folks in the Red Vest. They've got shelves full of products and loads of ideas to fix any fix you're in. Because Ace is a place with the helpful hardware folks.
Come on, Scotty, give me a fry.
America's favorite fries. McDonald's. Go get them.
Please.
Get your own, man.
Ow!
Let's go, guys. I need a play down here.
Hang on, Mike.
We're working on something up here. Try 3 wide rocket.
If they blitz, it won't work.
What about a quick slam?
Okay, Mike, we're almost there.
Come on, come on, come on.
Look at pro split Z out.
What's taking so long up there?
Okay, Mike, here we go. 3 wide, 78, Z out, Y cross.
All right, all set? Let's go. Let's go. Great call, guys. Good job.
To end Chrysler's best year ever, our best year-end sale ever. Right now, you can lease Chrysler Cirrus for 0 down to...
Where? But his teammates were gracious. They saw that he had lost his lid and didn't bang on him too high. Big John Causey sitting in the offensive line huddle right there. John, a senior out of Haneyville, Alabama, one of the co-captains and certainly one of the best. That's Pete DeMario, the right tackle, that you're looking over his shoulder as they visit with scheme and what they can change to be more effective against this Michigan defense. Straight ahead, nice run. Floyd puts a head down, going to wind up with 11 yards in the play. Myers makes the tackle.
Well, Chris Floyd was injured most of the year. They're happy to have him back at Michigan. Brought Charles Woodson into the ball game, shifted him outside, and then ran the fullback up inside on a trap.
Watch, here comes Andre.
Just ran right over him.
Watch his headgear go the other direction. Whoa.
Not so concerned about that headgear as he was. His body was going back too.
Yeah, the training staff came out, and you can see him shaking his head. He said, "I'm fine. I'm enjoying it here in Michigan." They do have palm trees in Michigan, don't they? Flags are down, and this is going to be procedure. And that play was doomed from the get-go as Floyd was tackled in the backfield.
Prior to the snap, offside, defense into the zone, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So Alabama turned what would have been a loss on the play, and they have just stepped off 5 yards against Michigan. They're going to have to go the other direction because it'll be a first down and 5 rather than first and 15. And the Michigan fans are now beginning to give the officials a little bit of a problem. Now Gene is on the side judge.
Well, a little confusion out there right now. Brian Greasy is off to a big start here, Ron. In control of this ball game, throwing a little short passes.
83 yards, 6 of 8 so far. 3-0, Alabama leads. With the left guard move, you could see him come out of his stance. That's Damon Denson, and they're going to give the 5 yards back. And this one should not take a committee meeting to step it off. Well, ESPN2 has a New Year's gift for all you NASCAR fans. The 1996 NASCAR Marathon is underway on the Deuce. You'll see selected races in their entirety, and it runs until 3 a.m. tonight. That's the NASCAR Marathon on ESPN2. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, and Kellen Winslow coming to you, wishing you a very happy New Year, 1997, from Tampa, Florida. The Outback Bowl, Michigan and Alabama. 12:05 to play until halftime. 3-0 Crimson Tide. Gracie under heavy pressure throws the pass complete. He's got 2 minutes tied in, and Creasy really took a shot from Ralph Staten. Mike, he went down hard.
Well, what you try to do when you play against a team that runs a lot of man coverage and a lot of blitz is try to bunch up your receivers a little bit. See, here's a tight end coming across in motion, but this is the tight end Tooman that's going to go right in the flat area. So you try to get a rub off on different players, and Jeremy Tooman out of Liberal, Kansas makes that catch. Trying to take advantage of trying to get people to bump into each other.
Handoff out of the shotgun. Here's Williams. Great second effort across the 50. He's going to have the first down. They had him at the 50-yard line short of the first down, and the second effort took him away from Rudd.
Good job again by the Michigan offensive line, led by Rod Payne, the great center of Michigan.
Jeremy Tooman, sophomore out of Liberal, Kansas.
There's the blocking by the offensive line. Damon Denson pulling around, number 51.
Big John Jensen, also number 77.
Good
Enjoyed
guy.
visiting with him yesterday.
Yeah, an outstanding young man.
Yep. Said Alabama reminds him of Ohio State and the discipline of Penn State. That play goes for one as Paul Pickett from his middle linebacking spot comes over to stop it short.
Well, it's interesting in talking to the Michigan players yesterday because they said, you know, our first bowl game on January 1st for a long time, and you think of Michigan, you think of them always playing on January 1st. But I think the reason they were so fired up for this football game was Alabama. They were playing Alabama,
yeah.
the ghost of Bear Bryant, the tradition, and they all said it. It's great to be here to play Alabama.
And you know, Mike, truthfully, the respect is mutual on both sides. Alabama feels the same way. Heck, they're playing Michigan. Blitz is on, and he's hit by Andre Short. And boy, Alabama likes to bring that safety up close to the line of scrimmage and bring him. And he hit Greasy just as he was delivering the football.
Yeah, that's what Brian Greasy has to see that, but it's difficult to see because Alabama moved to it very late. Short, number 23, is going to move and he on this blitz and hit Brian Greasy in the back. Again, Mike DuBose, who's going to be the new head coach at Alabama, the defensive coordinator, has kind of changed the defensive philosophy at Alabama a little bit. A lot more blitzing than they did under the previous defensive coaches.
Marcus Knight has checked into the lineup as you look at Mike DuBose. Marcus is a freshman. Greasy got a man open. Delivers it and has the strike at the 32-yard line as Sigler comes over to make the tackle. And it's the young man we were just talking about, Marcus Knight, a freshman out of Sylacauga, Alabama. So that's got to be special for him.
Well, it is special. And again, a nice play call by Fred Jackson. Again, he goes to two tight ends, two tight end look. He gets heavy protection for Brian Greasy. They blitz him. Now you get all of a sudden you get good blocking. He's able to sit in there, find Marcus Knight for the reception.
Good for 13 yards and a Michigan first down. Under 10 minutes until halftime. And again, you see Michigan moving people around. Shaw to the top of your screen. Goes straight ahead with the handoff to Floyd, and he's loose. Down to the 20-yard line, and they're going to spot him down at the 19. Cedric Samuel took his feet out from under him.
Ron, when you do this, when you shift someone out of the backfield, then all of a sudden you get the safeties moving and there's nobody in center field. All of a sudden now you shift number 4, Russell Shaw, out there. There's nobody in center field. So if you can bust through the defensive line, now a secondary hit player has to come over and make the tackle on Chris Floyd.
So Michigan with their best looking drive of the afternoon, of the morning, I should say. That run good for 14, straight ahead. Whoa, there's nothing there. Center field was filled that time by Dwayne Rudd. Center field, second base, and shortstop. Let's go down and check in with Kellen Winslow. Kellen.
Well, Ron and Mike, we talked about the weather at the beginning of the broadcast. For the most part of the second quarter that we've had so far, big cloud cover came over and really cooled the field off. Now, cloud cover's moving off the sun's back. But I can tell by the sideline action on both sides, Alabama and Michigan, that this weather is starting to take a toll on some of the players, especially these long drives.
Yeah, those big offensive line, but every time we get a shot, they are taking advantage of the break time. And as I mentioned, both teams very free with their substitutions of both wide receivers and running backs. Second down, Greasy. Short drop pass, incomplete. Cedric Samuel was just standing right there waiting for Ty Streets.
Well, a two-man route. They kept everybody else in the block. They're so conscious of the blitz by Alabama. They do not want their defense to feed off a big play. A turnover, hit Brian Greasy in the back. They do not want to allow him to do that. And they had that play open. Ty Street just didn't make the catch.
One of the things that Lloyd said yesterday is he said, if you want to be hard-headed and have people spread out all over the place and try to throw against this team, he said, you'll run out of quarterbacks because with their safeties and linebackers, they will hit you many times.
Yeah, you'll need a relief pitcher.
Third down. Line to make is the 10, and Greasy wants a timeout. So let's take it with him. 8:46 remaining until halftime. Alabama by 3. From behind by Ralph Staten. He never had an opportunity because he never saw him.
And as I said, it's a difficult defense to get in 3rd and 10 with, but you want to save the field goal opportunity. Brian Greasy did that. Didn't have a chance. Ralph Staten with the hit in the back.
So Hamilton will come on to attempt a field goal. As you can see, Staten, who is just lightning quick, and Rudd was on the other side, and they just made a sandwich. This is going to be a 44-yard attempt. Almost the identical spot where Brock kicked his for Alabama. Plenty of distance, and he is good. We're tied. 8:03 until halftime. It is Alabama 3 and now Michigan 3. Just over 8 to play until halftime, and for this gentleman right here, it's ticking away quickly. The last ball game for him, and you know, the mark that he hopes to leave on his squad, we asked him about that.
There's 3 things I want for the football player that comes to Alabama. First of all, I want him to get his degree. That's what he goes there for. Secondly, I want him to win a championship. You know, get him a ring, because we live in the time where winning is important. It's not everything, but it's important. And thirdly, I want him to have a work ethic. I want him, when he leaves, that he knows how to go out and make a living and prepare for his family.
So Gene Stallings, and very admirable the things that he looks for as far as what he wanted his young men to accomplish. John Causey, a great example, who spoke in such glowing terms of, hey, he said, it's been great playing for this man. He has been a father figure, and he said, you know, I will always respect him, and I carry a lot of things away from Tuscaloosa after having been coached by him. Now, Alabama, these return men, as you look at Sean Alexander to the near side and Vaughn on the other, they are looking into a very bright sky again. The clouds have moved away, and you can see Michael Vaughn shadowing his eyes. Let's see if it bothers him. And it's going to be about 3 yards deep in the end zone, and not going to matter.
Alexander down to the end zone.
Well, when you look at the resume, an assistant coach, 58 through 64. Head coach at Texas A&M, was with the Cowboys and Tom Landry, the Cardinals, and of course 7 years here with the Alabama Crimson Tide.
And when you look at Gene Stallings, you're talking about one man, but I think it's been a tough period of time for the assistants because it's been unsettling. Woody McCorvey may lose his position as offensive coordinator. Jim Fuller's retired, so it's been a tough time for the assistants.
Kitchens, draw play. Sean Alexander, and he will take it for short yardage because Marcus Ray stepped up into the hole to make the hit on him. And of course, off the staff, as you look at Woody McCorvey, DuBose will become the new head coach after this game today.
A very popular choice in the state of Alabama, former Alabama player, and I think everybody is that's associated with the university is very pleased that he will be the new head coach.
Second down at about 9. It's Vaughn in motion. Play action. Kitchens zings it over the middle. Has Vaughn. That's good for the first down out at the 35-yard line.
Good crossing route. Freddie Kitchens again showing that he's impressing the defense of Michigan on the other side. Bad decisions in this ball game either. Good play action fake. You see the crossing route. Tight end cleared it out, and here comes Michael Vaughn across. Linebackers vacated the area, and Michael Vaughn wide open.
Mike, he grabbed his right hamstring. Kitchens did after he threw the ball all the way back to the huddle. We'll keep an eye on it. Reverse it. Got a man wide open. That's his tight end, Rutledge. And he'll be knocked out of bounds by Taylor. And following a 13, maybe a 14-yard gain.
I think another thing interesting is when you look at both these teams, they're saying that it's going to be difficult to run. Now, if you've watched Alabama all year, they are not a prolific passing team, but all of a sudden they're coming out and saying, hey, I think the only way we're going to move this football is throw the ball and maybe open up the run a little later.
Well, you see the numbers on Kitchens, not great yardage, but great percentage.
Yeah, but that's what you want. You don't want to put him in bad situations where he may have to throw an interception against heavy coverage.
So it's first down almost at midfield as the Michigan corners creep up tight, and here they come with the blitz. And Kitchens, a little stop and go route, and he just overthrows it. Probably the smart thing to do there, as Woodrow Hankins was out there on Buchanan.
Yeah, that was covered right from the start. And then on the other side, you had Michael Vaughn. He was working against Charles Woodson. See the matchup right here. Charles Woodson just so fluid in that back pedal against a very good receiver.
Yeah, that's two really good athletes going head-to-head right there.
But Freddie Kitchens was looking to the other side. Couldn't come back because of the blitz to that side.
You see big Pete DeMario along with LaRon White, the offensive lineman, going up against a tough cookie right here in William Carr, senior out of Dallas. He dominates a lot of people, and he told us yesterday, I want to prove my point. I want to earn my respect on that field on Wednesday. Kitchens is sacked, and it's Glenn Steele. And on the other side, Carr, he couldn't run there because that's where William was.
You know, it's interesting when you look at Glenn Steele, because when Michigan played Ohio State, Lloyd Carr and the coaches said, you know, we match up real well against Ohio State's offensive line. But there's one area where they have an advantage. It's Orlando Pace. And if Glenn Steele can just get a draw for us in that ball game, we can win that football game. And he played very well, Glenn Steele, in that football game against Orlando Pace, and they won the ball game.
That's a loss of 7, so it's third down. Line to make is the Michigan 43. They creep up on the corners, and here they come. Kitchens, nobody open. Now he finds somebody and just throws it away.
Michigan's not going to allow Freddie Kitchens just sit back there and throw the football. They're going to heat him up and try to make him move around a little bit. They want to see if he can throw on the run.
More blitzes that time by Michigan, and Alabama seemed more confused on that series than any yet.
Well, the reason is when you sit back as defensive coordinator and see him, and they see the same statistics that you see, all of a sudden he's 8 out of 9. You've got to make him move around a little bit. You've got to put a little heat on him, and they did that the last series.
Speaking of heat, this guy here can do it to you. It is incumbent upon Hayden Stockton to get a good one away. Not particularly high. It's returnable. And Woodson breaks it open. He's got one man to beat. And Stockton will push him out of bounds just across midfield. So let's take a timeout. Will that be the break that Michigan needs to go on top? We'll come back to show you.
Simon's Appliance, Pete Simon speaking.
My refrigerator isn't cooling. Can you help me?
We'll be there right away.
At Simon's Appliance, we provide fast and friendly service as well as great deals on name brand appliances like Amana. Amana offers a complete line of kitchen and laundry appliances to meet the needs of today's busy family with quality, style, and innovation, including the new line of glass top ranges. For more great deals and fast, friendly service from people you can trust, come to Simon's Appliance, 70th and Cahill in Inver Grove Heights.
The all-new Air Lake Ford Mercury in Lakeville has plenty of the best-selling cars and trucks in Minnesota. Escort, Ranger, Explorer, F-Series, Taurus, and 2 exciting additions, Mustang and the front-wheel drive Windstar. Air Lake Ford Mercury makes the buying experience a pleasant one. Let Air Lake show you how easy it is to do business with them. Big city selection, small-town friendly. See for yourself. Air Lake Ford Mercury's easy to get to. 15 miles south of Mall of America on Cedar Avenue in Lakeville. Call 469-6000.
What's news 24 hours a day? What took you people so long? I mean, does it take a genius to realize that some of us out here are marching to a little bit of a different drummer? I mean, it's not like you can say, you know, be here for sports news at 6 or be here at 11. Hey, man, you know, I'm here when I'm here, you know. My mother, she's like, dinner's at 5. I show up at 7, you know. I'm thinking of moving out, you know. Any of you guys need a roommate or anything?
Great look at this sun-bathed stadium in Tampa, Florida, the Outback Bowl. And this man right here has just put the Michigan Wolverines in a great situation. 2 returns. That one was 31, and he's averaging 24 per try. Mike, you have to wonder if Alabama will continue to kick to it. Hayden Stockton saved it.
Yeah, he's exciting.
Stockton knocked him out of bounds. So next time out, we'll see if the Tide does kick to it. Ball is loose, recovered by Michigan, and Mark Campbell was right there. The ball fell right in front of him, and he was able to save it. Now, when Michigan doesn't turn the football over, they're a very good football team.
Yeah, they had 13 turnovers in their 3 losses, so they gave the games away, really. I mean, when you're right, when they play within themselves, don't make a lot of mistakes, they're very difficult to beat.
Right now, we're tied at 3 apiece. And look at this right here in the turnover margin. Just what Mike was talking about. In the 3 losses, minus 10 in the turnover margin, plus 11 in those 8 victories. Michigan's got great field position and plenty of time as we hit the 5-minute mark until halftime. Flag comes down as Howard tries to get it outside. He'll pick up a couple. Fernando Bryant from that cornerback spot.
I think the receiver from Michigan turned up too quickly. No, they're going to get Alabama. Ron, when you find a team that blitzes as much as Michigan or as Alabama does, what they'll do is they'll listen for the quarter's cadence. And when they get bearing in on the cadence, then they can blitz you and time it up with the quarterback. And what Brian Griese has to do here from here on in is adjust his cadence. Now, maybe he caught him there. Offsides on that play, but he has to adjust that thing so that the defense doesn't get used to his cadence and can time those blitzes up, because they've hurt him in the 3rd down situations.
It's a really big play right there, because Michigan scrimmages with a 2nd at about 7. They would have had a 3rd down at about 9. Straight ahead, not much on the running play.
They're trying that trap again. Up inside with Chris Floyd. They bring you Charles Woodson in, so everybody in the stadium figures that Charles Woodson's going to get the football, and then they try to sneak Chris Floyd up there in the trap.
So it is 3rd down, and for Michigan to keep this thing going, they got to take it to the Alabama 37-yard line.
Now let's see if Alabama blitzes him. They've had success on 3rd down going after Brian Griese.
And Woodson back off the bench and on the field. And it looks as though, yeah, he's going to line up the tailback.
Well, they may shift him out.
Yep, they do. Here comes the blitz. Griese gets it away. They just had to throw it too soon. They were all over him, and now here's a late flag that has come in. Alabama, you can see the cheer by Michael Myers. And that is a holding call against the Wolverines.
Lloyd Carr and his staff have to figure a way to slow this blitz down on 3rd down, because every 3rd down they're coming after Brian Griese and getting to him. You see the pressure in the back. Right through the hands of Charles Woodson.
Well, they're going to decline it. Parastaris will come on to kick it away. And Goss now is going to be looking into that very high sky as you look at Parastaris. Goss runs away from it. Now this takes a Michigan bounce, and it's going to go dead around the 10-yard line. Well, there's more college football today on ABC Sports. The race for the national championship begins at 4:30 Eastern. The granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl. Number 2 Arizona State and number 4 Ohio State. And tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern, the Battle of the Bayou, the Nokia Sugar Bowl. Number 1 Florida State and number 3 Florida.
On this big right here, 3:32 on the clock. Michigan has to hold Alabama down here. expect to get a field goal to take the lead here before the half. Alabama on the other side has to get out of this area right here, the 10-yard line.
Kitchens spins and hands the ball off, and there's not much there. You can see Ben Huff, number 53, along with Marcus Ray filling the hole.
Marcus Ray's an interesting story. He's from Columbus Eastmore High School, which is 10 minutes from Ohio State Stadium. And a Eastmore graduate was Archie Griffin, who's an athletic director, of course, a great player at Ohio State, and tried to talk Marcus Ray into attending Ohio State. But Marcus said when he visited there, he said they had 2 goals on the board. Win the Big Ten and beat Michigan. He said there must be something special about Michigan, so I'm going there.
Second down and long as Kitchens play action, gets his pass away, and this one is intercepted. That's Charles Woodson as he just threw it up for grabs. And Woodson is in danger of getting a penalty here with the headgear off.
You wait for a chance for a turnover, and the Michigan defense gets the first one. And Charles Woodson, number 2, was sitting back in good coverage, but this ball is thrown very poorly by Freddie Kitchens. He just put this one up for grabs, trying to get the ball to Michael Vaughn, and Michigan now in business with 2:54 to go in the half.
Let's check in with Kellen Winslow. Kellen?
Well, Ron and Mike, speaking of Woodson, we were watching him early on the punt return, and he came in as a wide receiver, first splitting up in the backfield. He looked to be a very tired young man. He came out to have to cover as a defensive back on a wide receiver. I thought Alabama was going to take a shot at him, but instead Kitchen decided to throw to the back, but Woodson was Johnny on the spot to make the interception.
Yeah, and that pass was wounded. Greasy sets in the pocket on first down, swings it out of the backfield, and Clarence Williams can't get over to that one. Rudd was coming out to make the cover on him.
The way this game's going, you look for ways to get 3 points, not 7, because you try to figure out how you can inch it close enough to get your kicker in a position. And when you're calling plays, Fred Jackson, the offensive coordinator, Stan Parrish, the quarterback coach, Lloyd Carr, trying to find a way against this great Alabama defense. And Mike DuBose now is trying to look for that stop. He wants to turn over to get the ball back for his offense.
Well, Kitchens knows by now, just as Greasy knows, that these defensive backs are too talented just to throw it up for grabs out there. You're going to get it picked up. Counter play. Williams going to be knocked down for a loss, and it's Michael Myers.
Michael Myers is an outstanding defensive lineman. Came out of Hines Junior College. Fred Jackson, the offensive coordinator of Michigan, said he's the best defensive lineman we've played against all year. And he shows you right here as he gets into the backfield and makes the tackle on Clarence Williams.
And your friend up at Ole Miss cries every time he sees him because he had committed to go to Ole Miss, didn't make a score, then went to Hines, and then wound up at Alabama.
Well, what happened?
So Tommy Turner.
Yeah, John Copeland, the lineman, had left Hines and gone on to Alabama and had success, so he wanted to do the same thing.
Gracie set to throw. Middle screen is there. Clarence Williams gets a block, and he's going to be tackled short of the first down by about a yard. It's Sigler who's holding on for dear life. Alabama read it, but they couldn't get back in time.
Yeah, they couldn't get off the blocks, Ron. That's a good call. A good throw by Brian Greasy because it sets the field. There's no choice here. I mean, you kick the field goal. This is a game that's going to be won by your defense and won by your special teams. So Michigan fans are saying go for it, but you go for the 3 points right here.
Yeah, both sides have stopped running plays for loss of yardage. It's going to be a 44-yard attempt. Everything has been right in this spot of the field. Just put a circle there. And it's a fake right up into the middle, and they break it. That's Greasy. At the 10, first and goal, Michigan.
The benefit of playing in a bowl game, and you watch every tape and film of the other team, and you look for a chance to spring a special teams play. Your quarterback is your holder, Brian Greasy. A pre-played call all the way. They saw something in the tapes of Alabama that allowed them to make that call and get that big first down.
It's good for 18 yards. So now the clock becomes very big. 109, now 108. It is a first and goal. The ball at the 8-yard line. '78, Big Ozell Powell. Time to step up big if you're Alabama. There's the counter play, almost into the end zone. Chris Howard, he'll take it to the 2 and credit Rod Payne, 52, with an outstanding paving block.
Yeah, Ron, you're right. Rod Payne had a great block. He was voted by the players as the most valuable player on the football team. Number 52 in the middle. Turns back. Gets a good block.
Greasy puts the ball into the turf to stop the clock. Only 30 seconds left until halftime. We're tied at 3. And you're right, Mike. Touchdowns are like grand slam home runs in this one.
Oh, they are. They're big, because then you get the other team to play out of character a little bit if you can get that touchdown lead.
This is one of those things where touchdowns in this game are as rare as Christmas bonuses. Let's check in with Kellen Winslow. Kellen?
Well, Ron and Mike, maybe Mike can comment on this, but why would you down the ball like that when you got 3 timeouts on the clock?
Yeah, I'm not sure of that.
You end up wasting it down.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not
you
sure
call a
why.
timeout, nothing's lost.
And
now you call a timeout now.
They just called the timeout.
I think, Kellen, the reason is I only think they have 1 timeout left, and they were trying to save that timeout to set up the field goal.
So we'll be right back, tied at 3. 30 seconds left until halftime.
I was looking for an onion, a really big onion.
Trying to save a timeout for their field goal team, but now they're in a tough situation here.
Now they got 9. Greasy looks for the end zone. Nothing there, and he was knocked out of bounds, and the ball goes out at the 5-yard line.
If they make that tackle, and then you tell your defensive players, lay on them as much as you can so that they can't get up to kick this field goal. But we're still, you talked about touchdowns rare. We're still back to a field goal attempt. Brian Greasy, I like the call by Lloyd Carr because it gives you the option of the pass and the run. If it's not there, throw the ball away and stop the clock.
So this attempt right here is going to be 22 yards to try to put Michigan on top by a field goal. He got it. 20 seconds left until halftime, and our new score, the Wolverines 6-3.
Ron, I want to go back again because there was some really controversial decisions made on that play. But if you're on the sideline and you've got 25 seconds to make a call, it's not like up here. I mean, we can stand up here all day and got a tie on here, and it's cool up here, and the fans are sitting in the stands. But down there, I mean, it's hot and heavy, and there's a lot of things going on. And all of a sudden, somebody's saying, "Let's run the ball." Or somebody's saying, let's take the timeout. And sometimes, some things happen. They're out of the ordinary. Now, they'd like to have that timeout left, but they were saving that 1 timeout to set their field goal up if they needed it. And then, of course, they spent it.
So the situation now, Alabama, they get 20 seconds here, and I have a feeling that it'll be a return, if possible, 1 running play and then into the locker room. Don't take a chance on turning it over again, because their 1 turnover cost them 3 points.
You're exactly right. The 1 turnover is the difference in this hard-fought football game in the first half.
I mean, it's one of those things where play defense and kick it away. Play defense and kick it away again. You look at Vaughn, and they get a little bit of a break now because the cloud has come over the bright sunshine. Feely will kick it off with his team finally on top in this ball game, 6-3. And he just pooches it. It's going to come to the 15-yard line. That's Vaughn. And he'll be tackled at the 26. Chris Fowler, let's check with you.
Well, Ron, coming up in just a few seconds on our new Dodge halftime report, the final points from Pasadena. Mike Tirico, Mike Adamle will check in on the Rose Bowl. We'll reset the Sugar Bowl situation. About 30 hours to kick off down here in New Orleans. And Lee Corso and Kirk Herbstreit had their thoughts on all of the New Year's days, including the Citrus and the Fiesta. Back now to you.
Okay, Chris, thanks.
Ron, who do you think wins the Rose Bowl?
I think if it's dry, Arizona State. I think just like the weather, you talked about taking Auburn out of this game last year. I think if it rained, Arizona State hadn't played a game in the rain in 27 games.
I think Ohio State's going to smash them.
Do you?
Yeah, I really do.
Well, there's another dollar you lose. Swings it out of the backfield, incomplete. 9 seconds left.
Well, you figure this one's going to be just down it right here, Freddie Kitchens. 9 seconds to go. Don't make a mistake here and go to the locker room like you talked about earlier, 6-3. That was a safe call. You're just trying to throw the ball out, see if your running back can make something happen.
William Carr looking on intently. Causey comes out over the football. They don't look like they're going to go down on a knee. Looks like they may go for one more. Right? Yep, they are. Kitchens goes down, and it's Bowens who gets him, and that is the end of the first half. Our score, Michigan 6, Alabama 3. Now let's join Chris Fowler with the new Dodge halftime report.
Wolverines lead at 6-3. Lee Corso and Kirk Herbstreit join me on the new Dodge halftime report. Coming up, we'll talk plenty of Sugar Bowl, the Gator killer, the Louisiana native war.
Sean Alexander makes the catch 8 yards deep in the end zone.
Freddie Kitchens had a good first half, except for the one turnover where he put the ball up for grabs. 8-13, 53 yards. Not a lot of yards. What Alabama's trying to do in the passing game is work against the linebackers of Michigan, so a lot of short passes.
So let's see. We'll find out quickly what the discussions were at halftime, but I don't think we're going to see a great change as far as game plan by either team.
No, I don't think so. They probably picked up some things they'd like to try to do a little bit better here in the second half.
This is Dennis Ritter. Tries to turn the corner and finally turns it up. He is in the vicinity of the 25. Sam Sword makes the stop on him.
Well, Freddie Kitchens, you see now, past 15 yards, nothing. A 0 for 3 on the left side. But everything, the most completions right here, the highest percentage, a little flare to the back out of the backfield. But trying again to work on linebackers underneath coverage.
Gene Stallings paces the sideline. His final half as the head coach at the University of Alabama. Kitchens dumps it out, has it complete to his tight end, and Hape will take it out to the 35, and that's good for the Crimson Tide first down.
Patrick Hape had 12 catches coming into this ball game, and I think for Alabama to take the ball the length of the field against this Michigan defense, Patrick Hape has to be a big part of the offense, because misdirection play, you're working against the linebackers again. Patrick Hape has great ability to catch the football, concentration. Jared Irons with that tackle.
Now, speaking of good football players, Jared Irons, he's a senior out of Houston, the Woodlands, just north of Houston, Texas. And of course, you know, his daddy was an outstanding professional player. Riddle, a lot of running room, and then all of a sudden it closes up. Nice job